Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we're diving into something that is absolutely fascinating, but honestly, it's a little bit unsettling too. I want you to just imagine for a second that there's a remote control for your brain. Literally a device that can instantly dictate what you look at, how you feel, what you crave. It sounds totally like science fiction, right? Well, it brings up this massive, kind of terrifying question. Who is actually pressing the buttons? I mean, think about an entire digital economy actively, intentionally controlling your daily impulses. Because, most of us go through our day assuming our desires are totally our own, just natural human emotions. But what if those impulses have been hijacked? Because it is happening with every scroll, every single click, every single tempting image you pause on. See, in those split-second actions, without you even realizing it, your attention is actively being shifted. And as your attention shifts, your decisions start to change. Eventually, your actual underlying desires begin to change, which ultimately shapes the person you become. It's this massive, silent shift in how we fundamentally operate as human beings. Okay, let's dive into this and look at how our brains are actually wired. So our ancestors relied heavily on noticing anything new, basically just to survive. A new sound, well, that could mean absolute danger. A new opportunity, that could literally mean food for the week. Our brains evolved to fiercely reward novelty. But today, that exact same biological drive is left wide open, totally vulnerable to endless digital content. Instead of a rustling bush out in the wild, we're faced with an infinite, never-ending feed of swipes. And this brings us to a buzzword we have all heard a million times: dopamine. We're constantly told that dopamine is simply the pleasure chemical. But actually, scratch that, that's a massive misconception. It is actually the chemical of anticipation. It's the biological signal that tells your brain, hey, keep searching. It isn't the reward itself, it's that deeply ingrained urge to just keep looking for the reward. Which leads us directly to this thought, and I guarantee you felt this exact sensation. Maybe the next thing will be even better. That is dopamine talking right there. And this perfectly explains why stopping a scrolling session often feels so much harder than starting one. Your biology is literally screaming at you that the ultimate reward is just one more swipe away. So this biological urge builds into something much, much larger: the business of desire. Desire really isn't just a fleeting feeling anymore, it's an immensely profitable industry. We're living in an attention economy now, where some of the most powerful companies in the world are fiercely competing for one finite resource, and that resource is your attention. And this brilliantly illustrates the highly engineered, kind of insidious feedback loop driving this whole engine. Step 1, you stay engaged with the content. Step 2, because you're engaged for longer periods, you see more ads. Step 3, the companies make money. It is a completely linear, highly calculated process. Recommendation algorithms are designed from the ground up to keep you stuck on that first step forever. These algorithms are constantly learning your unique interests, your fears, your desires, and considering the average person spends over 6 hours a day online, they have a mountain of data on us. But the hard truth here is they don't do this because they care about your happiness or your personal growth. No way. They do it because your attention has immense monetary value. Every extra minute you stay online, every extra second you hesitate on a post, seamlessly fuels their business model. So this brings us to the core issue. What happens when desire takes control? Now, I want to be absolutely clear here. Desire itself is not the enemy. It's a completely normal, beautiful part of being human. The real problem arises when every spare moment of our day, every single ounce of downtime, is filled with instant, manufactured stimulation. Because over time, a subtle desensitization process happens. Since your brain gets so used to constant, high-level, effortless rewards, the things that once felt genuinely enjoyable and deeply satisfying, they start feeling completely ordinary, boring even. So what happens next? Your brain adapts, and it actively forces you to seek out stronger and stronger stimulation just to feel something. You aren't weak. Your biology is simply adapting to a really extreme digital environment. But the true devastating cost of that biological adaptation is severe. When we constantly burn out our reward centers, we are left with less patience, fractured focus, and a severe drop in motivation for difficult, meaningful goals. Honestly, this is the absolute emotional low point of the whole trap. The things that actually build a good life, deep relationships, learning, long-term achievements, they take time and effort.
But your brain has literally been retrained to reject anything that doesn't offer an instant payoff.
So the crucial point is, how do we get out? Escaping the trap. Listen, we're not helpless victims in this scenario, and the solution definitely isn't to completely eliminate desire. That would be impossible and, frankly, pretty miserable. The real solution is to empower yourself to regain control over it.
To actually regain control, you must intentionally create moments without constant stimulation. You've got to limit the endless scrolling. Substitute those digital habits with things that build real-world skills and presence. Go exercise, read a physical book, learn a new, challenging skill. Just look someone in the eye and have a real, uninterrupted conversation. Sure, these activities don't give you that cheap, unearned dopamine spike, but they build a rock-solid foundation of genuine fulfillment.
Ultimately, the goal here isn't absolute perfection, it's awareness. It's making that vital shift from reacting automatically to choosing deliberately. Because once you understand exactly how your brain works, once you finally see the remote control for what it is, you don't have to let the algorithm press the buttons anymore. You can pause, take a breath, and actually choose your actions with intention.
So, as we look at the reality of our modern world, I want to leave you with this profound question. Who is in control of your mind? Every single day, the world is in a fierce, multi-billion-dollar competition for your attention. Some companies desperately want your time, others want your money, and most of them, they just want to harness your raw impulses.
In a world that is expressly designed to manipulate your attention at a biological level, we really need a brand new definition of freedom. True freedom isn't just mindlessly doing whatever you desire in the moment. The ultimate advantage is having the ability to actively choose your own desires.
A mind that controls its desires is far more powerful than a mind controlled by them. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really want to leave you with this one thought for the very next time you pick up your phone. Are you pressing the buttons, or is someone else? See you next time.